A reunion like no other. American doctor returns amputated arm to Vietnamese veteran after 50 years. In a moment of extraordinary humanity born from the scars of war, an American doctor traveled across the world with a most unusual piece of luggage: the bones of an arm he had amputated nearly half a century ago. Dr. Sam Axelrad, now a retired urologist from Texas, arrived in Vietnam to return the skeletal remains of the arm he removed from a gravely wounded North Vietnamese soldier in 1966. For decades, the bones had rested in a closet, a haunting reminder of a time when enemies met not in hatred, but in a fleeting act of compassion. The soldier was Nguyen Quang Hung. On a humid Monday in central Vietnam, the two men stood face to face once again, not as enemies, but as old men who had somehow shared one of the most intimate and painful chapters of each other's lives. They embraced, laughed about their younger selves, and introduced each other to their children and grandchildren, living proof that time and peace had prevailed. "I'm very glad to see him again, and to have that part of my body back after nearly half a century," Hung, now 73, said over the phone. "I'm proud to have shed my blood for my country's reunification, and I consider myself lucky compared to so many of my comrades who never made it home." Back in October 1966, Hung had been shot in the arm by American forces during an ambush about 46 miles from the town of An Khe. He narrowly escaped, floating down a stream and hiding in a rice warehouse for days before being captured and airlifted to a U.S. military hospital in Phuket. "When I was captured, I felt like a fish on a chopping block," Hung recalled. "They could have killed me, but they didn't." Instead, he met a 27-year-old military doctor, Axelrad, who did what he had sworn to do: save lives. Hung's right arm was severely infected and darkened to the color of an eggplant. To save him, Axelrad had to amputate above the elbow. After the surgery, Hung spent 8 months recovering, and even assisted American doctors during that time. He eventually returned to civilian life, working as a local doctor and serving in government before retiring on his rice farm. "He probably thought we were going to send him to a POW camp," Axelrad said, "but we just took care of him. That's what we were supposed to do." As for the arm, it was Axelrad's medic colleagues who boiled the flesh off, reconstructed the bones, and gave them to him, an unusual gesture at best. He kept the remains in a military bag, buried deep in a closet along with the painful remnants of war he couldn't bear to revisit. For decades, the bones remained untouched. Then in 2011, while sorting through those old mementos, Axelrad found the arm again. It hit him like a wave, not just the memory of the war, but the life he had once saved. "It just blew me away what was in there," he said. "That moment, it triggered something. I knew I had to go back." The journey wasn't easy. Axelrad had no idea if Hung was still alive. On a trip to Vietnam in 2013, he wandered the streets of An Khe, but didn't ask for him, assuming Hung had returned to the north. By sheer chance, he visited the historic war bunker beneath the Metropole Hotel in Hanoi, and there, his tour guide, Vietnamese journalist Tran Nguyen Hoa, took interest in his story. She later wrote about Axelrad's mission in a popular Vietnamese newspaper. The article caught the eye of Hung's brother-in-law in Ho Chi Minh City, who reached out to the paper, setting in motion a reunion 47 years in the making. With Hoa's help, the meeting was arranged in An Khe. She acted as interpreter, but the moment spoke for itself. "I can't believe he kept my arm for so long," Hung said. "It's not exactly the kind of souvenir most people would want, but I'm thankful he did, and I'm grateful he came back." Hung served lunch to Axelrad and his family, and the two veterans talked, laughed, and shared memories. They spoke of a war that shaped them, haunted them, and somehow connected them. "I'm just so happy he built a life," Axelrad said, visibly moved after meeting Hung's family, "that he lived and thrived." Today, Vietnam is a country of youth, a nation where most have no memory of the war that claimed over 58,000 American lives and an estimated 3 million Vietnamese. But for those who lived it, the ghosts remain. John Ernst, a Vietnam War historian from Morehead State University, has seen other veterans return mementos to former foes. "It's a fascinating phenomenon," he said. "I always wonder what drives them to do it. Maybe it's healing, maybe it's closure, maybe it's both." For Dr. Axelrad and Mr. Hung, it was simply time. Time to remember, to reconcile, and to return what once was lost.